just want to live. Is that so wrong? Why doesn't anybody else want that?
What is going on, everybody? It's Jasper TG, and today... So, I'm a little late actually doing this by maybe like a couple days or so. I got to see Markiplier's new film based off the video game Iron Lung. It was so good. I enjoyed a lot of that movie. It was really, really fucking good. So, without any further ado, before we get into this, there's gonna be spoilers and stuff. So if you have not seen the movie yet, which I'm sure there's probably a good majority of people who are gonna be coming on here who already have, but if you haven't, watch the movie whenever you get the chance, then come back here and then join this discussion and thoughts and yada yada. So without any further ado, let's get into my thoughts in this conversation of Iron Lung. So, to start things off, Markiplier was great at everything. For someone in his team for him producing it, directing it, and being the main actor, and not only that, on top of that, being the one to distribute the entire film his fucking self, yeah, that's huge. Hollywood hates him right now, too. I've been seeing so much of that, and I can see why. He is literally doing... He did so good with this movie compared to some of the other dumpster fires that we've been getting in other Hollywood movies. That's why I barely even watch any new shit that comes out, because it's all literally a bunch of... is what it is. Literal fucking Taco Bell diarrhea in the next stall over. That's how bad this is with Hollywood. But Markiplier is chef's kiss, because he put more into the story about Iron Lung in his movie, more thought, more emphasis, anything you can think of, he put it there. There's answers that lead to more questions that will eventually get answers to. It builds up to something great. Yeah, like, from the beginning to the end, like, it was good. I'll go ahead and get the good parts out. A lot of the suspense was great. Character development, even though we don't know too much about other characters besides Simon, who he plays as the convict. But, like, how he goes through these things, the emotions I genuinely feel. The moments where he's, like, stressed, coping by saying stupid shit when it's funny, even though he's doing it to cope because he's in a stressful situation where he will inevitably fucking die. But he's doing it for a cause that's like, okay, I gotta give our race, the universe, fucking hope, or we're done for. I have to do this. And he eventually realizes that. He eventually realizes, okay, I gotta do this. Because there's gotta be something beyond what the quiet rapture has done. Stars and planets disappearing, stars dying, all that. Something has to give to get us out of this, right? That's what it is. But then, from the beginning, we're all like, okay, this is how the coordinates work, I gotta do this. Okay, they want me to search for something, what's going on here, blah, blah, blah. Whew. Then we get into the nitty-gritty. This monster, because it's cosmic. It's a cosmic entity. You can't fathom, like, why is this thing here? What does it want? What is it gonna do? Like, he did so well. And the fact that this thing eventually has a hive mind connection to Simon from that one little split of blood on his face, because that blood radiation mutation shit in the ocean gets to him, it starts screwing with his psyche. And he has to power through that, power through his trauma that happened from the reserve station explosion where Eden, because I think it's CO or something like that in the Eden, because these are two rival establishments of some of the humans that are still left. And he's like, oh God, why? What am I going through? Because, you know, there's hallucinations where someone's in the fucking sub with him. Oh, wait, no, there's not. What the hell is talking to me? Is this even real? Or am I losing it? Because he's down there at one point in the movie for fucking days by himself. No contact with anyone. Just him and presumably another person, but it's really the monster going, it's for real estate. Not really, but still, it's getting serious, right? So... and he has no idea. And that's why I like it, because he's going through these different emotions. It's like, okay, I'm not alone. Wait, am I? Am I just gonna give up, or do I gotta keep pushing? No, I gotta keep going. Even if I find out there's a fucking cosmic monster in front of me, I do gotta give the race hope, right? So that's when we get into that's, I guess, when we get near the climax. So, you know, from that point, obviously, from the beginning, you know, so much stuff has happened that even before that point, he's like, dude, I would rather just go back to prison. I don't want to do this. This is crazy as hell. But they're like, look, you have to do this. Plus, you did this when he didn't, because that explosion that happened where that reserve station or whatever it was that was housing important stuff from what they still have from the old universe that is just destroyed, even though he didn't do it, and they kind of later come to know that and say, hey, I know, but you've got to do this because it is bigger than him. It's bigger than anybody. It's bigger. It's about giving the whole universe hope to possibly exist in a better way again. But he's like, dude, throw me in prison. This is crazy. This is off the wall. We're like, no, you got to do this. But yeah, he finds the light. The light. And the light, we have no idea what it is. It's theories from, it's an anomaly that caused quiet rapture, or something about God, maybe? The concept of God. And either way, the monster's like, look, you guys need to stay away from this. The light cannot be something you guys need to harness. And because of how the monster is doing things, it's probably a better bet to say the light is something that could help instead of it being something dangerous. I mean, that, with everything that's happened from the quiet rapture, it's only logical in our human minds to think so. So, with that being said, he's like, okay, at this point, you know, he knows he's gonna die. He knows he's probably not gonna be free anymore. Like, he knows, like, this is it for me. But this is gonna be something that's worth it. That was the premise at the end. This is worth it. This is worth everything. Even in my death, this will be worth it for everything else outside of that. So, that's when the most pumped up I get through this entire movie. My face is getting red just thinking about it. When Simon says, when the monster's like doing that demonic voice, saying how the light needs to be preserved, or must be forgotten, and then trying to keep him away, and he's like, I'm not gonna give you what you want. Fuck that and fuck you! Like, that's when he's like, okay, you wanna eat me? Come and try! And that's when he just starts fighting the fucking monster, because he knows that this is something that has to be done. Whew. That had my testosterone going, son! I was like, come on, let's look into the face of death and say, fuck you, let's go! Like, it is, whoo! That part, all the way up to the end, will always stick with me. Yeah. Especially the Blood Ocean hallucination where he's like standing and floating in it, and the monster's like looking directly at him through the eye. I don't know. Visuals, story, everything. I do not know how else to tell you. Everything was well thought of and well placed a lot of the time. Overall, there was more good than bad. Now let's sprinkle to some of the stuff that's a little iffy. So, some of the slow burns were a little repetitive. Like, they kind of just kept doing the same thing a little bit. Like, it was a little... Like, sometimes they switched it up, which is what was good about some of the slow burns, because you didn't know if it would be the same thing or something different, so you were still going to anticipate what was going to happen anyway, instead of just being like, okay. There was, each and every time something happened, I was still anticipating when it was going to happen. So, yeah. You could not get me through that whole thing. You could not get me to be bored. You couldn't. I was glued to the screen from that 2 hours and 7 minutes that entire time. Glued to the screen. There was no way you could get me to not look away. Like, maybe, I only maybe checked my phone twice when I felt it vibrate, but I was like, that was it. Just to see who messaged or what it was, and if it wasn't important. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was, some things were a little repetitive. Some things I didn't quite understand, but then later on, I eventually did understand it. And what's funny is my dad and I, like, he was right next to me while watching this. And there was, yeah, even he, like, even though, because he's older, but he didn't get some of this, he was just like, what on earth is fucking going on? So... But then I had to tell him, and this other thing about the station I do need to tell him about, because he had no idea what they were referring to. I told him a little bit about the game. He's not too video game-ish, obviously. He's old. He's 52. Oh, God, I hope he doesn't see this, because he'll give me shit about that. He's not that old, but still. Not into video games, and doesn't get the premise of some of this shit. But, yeah. Other than that, those were really the two things. Like, some things were just a little repetitive, and some things were just not making sense here. But other than that, everything was well thought of, well planned. The build-up was great. The visuals was great for a $3 million budget. And in, like, just a week or so, it made more than 3 times its budget from what I understand. So, with that being said, whew, chef's kiss. About an 8 to about 9 out of 10. Pretty much practically perfect. Not exactly, but pretty good. Better than what Hollywood's been trying to cook, which has been straight shit sandwiches. Anyway, but yeah, guys, that is my thoughts on the Iron Lung movie. And I really hope we get something more to this universe of Iron Lung. I hope so. Markiplier, make it happen. Please, for the love of God. Put more into this. I want to see what continues from here, especially now that Simon's dead. What else is gonna happen? Please, Mark, he's not even gonna see this. I don't expect him to. I'm just a minuscule pipsqueak of a YouTuber compared to him. But come on, Mark, come on! Anyway, but that's what I think about that. Let me know what you guys think. I really would love to know, especially if any of you guys have seen it and probably I mean, I would like to think y'all sat through the entire thing like I did and didn't even take your eyes off the screen, but maybe for just a millisecond. Anyways, also, like and subscribe as well. It helps me out a bunch. It's fitting that I've done this because I just did Death in the Water, which was a normal ocean game. Normal, not this. This is about a blood ocean and cosmic world. Crazy. Anyways, but y'all know what to do. Also, my socials are in the description. Specifically, go to my Twitch, because I'm going to be streaming here. Hopefully, let's see. I don't know, because today's Tuesday. Probably going to be Thursday. Anyway, but I'll be streaming this week, so y'all keep an eye out for that. But y'all know what to do. Peace out, and I will catch you guys in the next video.